And President Biden stepping aside as the Democratic nominee, endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for the spot. Joining us now is Mike Allen, Axios co-founder. Mike, good morning. It's good to see you. Do you expect today for former President Obama or Speaker Pelosi, Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, will they do it today? And if they don't, are they really holding out the possibility for somebody else at an open convention?
No, they're not. So the Democratic Party recognizes that their nominee is going to be Vice President Harris, and she plunged in yesterday, spent 10 hours on the phone with labor leaders, civil rights leaders, business leaders, congressional leaders, like making calls to solidify her position. Those leaders have held back a little bit because the Democratic Party may want to have a mini process, like allow the possibility for other voices. They just don't want people to be able to say the Democratic Party is being undemocratic. But Joe, make no mistake, Vice President Harris has epic advantages here, including her command of the campaign structure, raised 50 million overnight. And the DNC, the White House, her historic status, all formidable advantages.
The Donald Trump himself, just any candidate probably gets X number of votes just from being not Joe Biden at this point. But, Mike, it's probably fair to say that some rehab probably needs to be performed somehow on the vice president, given just the overall perception for the past couple of years, whether it's the border or some of the, some of the quotes, some of the moments that we've seen. You know, if you're anti-Trump, it's not going to matter at all. She's also 19 years younger, so right out of she can also, just focus on women's health and abortion, et cetera.
100%.
But
Joe, that's a great point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Joe, that's a great point. Democrats are going to say, you want to talk age and fitness? Bring it on. You're right. She's 59. The president is 78. Totally correct. Reproductive rights, a central issue for so many people. Like, she suddenly is able to talk about that in a central way, potential game changer. And Joe, a huge frame that you're going to hear from Democrats is they're going to talk about the prosecutor. She's the former elected DA of San Francisco, Attorney General of my home state of California, the prosecutor versus the convicted felon. So you're going to hear a lot of that. But yes, Joe, you're right. And what Democrats will say is most people don't know her. She has a golden moment here to introduce herself, define herself, talk about those issues. But Republicans say this was a sinking ship. Doesn't matter who you put at the top of it. Republicans' three-point plan, Joe, is going to be one, they're going to say everything we were going to say about Biden on inflation and crime, everything we were going to say about Biden, she owns that. Plus, we're going to say, what did she know? When did she know it? Like, was she complicit in not revealing the president's condition? And they will say she was given the responsibility for the border. How did that turn out? So, Joe, all of that is why Jim Vandehei and I, in a column at the top of Axios this morning, are calling it the chaos campaign. America tossed into uncertainty we haven't seen since the 1960s.
They'll also talk about not even getting to Iowa the first time around, probably as not a great presidential candidate. They're also going to talk about that she's further left, much further left than Joe Biden, although he seemed to go along with the party pretty much in that wing. But they'll say that they're going to brand her as like an ultra progressive.
No question. What Republicans were saying to me is we wanted to run against liberal leftists, and now it's easier. You have somebody who's literally from California, the Harris campaign, now it's officially the Harris for President campaign, will push back. She'll be able to talk confidently about how she was actually a very tough prosecutor, which, Joe, you'll appreciate the nuance of this, was actually hard for her to discuss when she was running for the Democratic nomination. Now it's a plus.
Right. Marijuana, people in jail, and and when she was asked if she smoked marijuana, she was laughing about, oh yeah, I did, but they're in jail. I don't know. It's weird.
Hey, Mike, we've heard from a lot of folks over the last 6 months who desperately wanted President Biden to get out of the race. You even heard from the Bill Ackmans of the world for a long time before they decided to endorse or put their weight effectively behind former President Trump, this idea that they were really just trying to get Biden out of the race in hopes that there was somebody else that was going to come in his place. The question is, do you think that any of those people who sort of were pushing for that but then ultimately landed in the Trump camp switch again?
Did you see what Ackman tweeted, though?
Yeah, I did. And that's why
he's not coming back.
He's not coming back. And that's why I'm asking the question, Mike.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, there's been very little sign of that out of the box. And I can tell you that President Biden, who finally yielded to what those people have been saying for months and months, were told that it was finally the data that did it, that there was just no path, that over the past 3 weeks since the debate, like, they tried everything. Nobody could give him data points that showed him winning. But this is where Republicans feel like they have huge momentum after the convention. Like, people are, just based on human nature, people are unlikely to switch back. And they came out of this incredibly strong convention. Now Democrats, who have just 4 weeks till Chicago, 100-ish days till the election. That is a short time to try to reboot a campaign, to introduce a candidate to much of America, get all the wings of the party flapping in one direction. That is all a lot.